Hi everybody. I have been doing a little bit of stuff between episodes. A little exploring. A little gathering. Managed to get some pretty cool stuff. But what I really needed was the rubber tree saplings. And they are out there. I found them in a jungle biome. And they should be even more common in swamp biomes. For those of you who are out there looking for them now. And I am working on a machinery house. Okay, it took a little bit longer than I expected, but I did manage to get that machine house built. Still needs a door. But I am almost ready to start putting some machines in it. As soon as I get the doors taken care of. It's not much, but it'll be a place to keep my IC2 and Ender IO machinery as I build it. The forestry machines, I will probably chop down these trees and put over here. Looking for someone? Oh, I'm sure there are better ways to do this, but it's true. There were definitely better ways to do that. Okay, I'm going to patch up this hole and make a cast for this gear. Okay, so I have produced myself a couple of gears and a whole bunch of bronze ingots, many of which I plan to use in a few minutes. You see, the other day, I decided to milk a whole bunch of cows. Well, okay, just a couple of cows, but I got 32 buckets of milk. With the idea that I was going to make a bunch of cheese. But once I got this milk and put it into these Ender IO tanks, I found that I could not get the milk back out again. At least not with buckets. So I'm sure there's other ways to get it into buckets, but I'm pretty sure that most of those involve mods I don't have yet. But I have another use for the milk. The biogas engine generates RF from a lot of different organic fluids. In fact, if you want to be constantly using lava, you can even burn water to get your energy. But you get more with better fuels. I'm pretty sure that milk is better than water, but probably not as good as biofuel. So we'll just set that right here. And we'll put our milk tanks on top of it. And I'm going to go gather some lava and find something to power with this. And lava tank. And that should fuel this thing up fairly quickly. Should. Push. And push. You know, I'd heard about Forestry changing its fluid system to the next biggest thing that everybody else hasn't changed to yet. So I made it a different generator for a while. And RF Tools coal generator. And alloy smelter. And sag mill. I'm going to be doing most of my wiring through Ender.io because it's so much easier to route the stuff together with it. So I'm going to need some alloys with it. And now all we need is something to cook. Like some conductive steel. Or rather, conductive iron. And some binder composite. Which gives us conduit binder. Which we can pop into a crafting table with our conductive iron alloy and make some energy conduits, which allows us to have multiple things powered in different configurations and do all the cool things. And it's at this point that I have no other choice than to go make myself a wrench. Well, dang it. This worked last week. And wrench. I'm glad that worked. That's the second wrench I tried. Okay, so we put these two together, and we could have those take over our processing for us if we wanted to, instead of having the smeltery do it for us. And all that's very nice and well, but it's not getting us any closer to our renewable biofuel, is it? No, it's really not. And for that, we will need a fermenter and a still. And once we supply those with power and water and mulch, this will provide us with the fuel we want, which we can put into the still, which will give us ethanol, which is equivalent to buildcraft fuel, which we can pump into our biogas engine, and we can't pipe into it because it's not doing that for us right now. Okay, this engine will just have to wait for an update. However, that will still provide us more efficient power for our IC2 engines. So that'll give us actually a head start on that. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with making ethanol anyway. And for that, we're going to need a water reservoir to provide water. We're already providing energy. And then we'll need something that we can fuel with, like oak saplings, or perhaps wheat. Whatever we have the most of to spare. Or actually, as it turns out, we're not going to be doing any of that with these, because we're having the same problem with the other forestry equipment that we were having with that engine. So, we'll be looking at other forms of energy. The good news is there's no lack of those. And we've just had an update. And one of the things that changed is my granite that I had around the edge of this room is now transparent dark pink block from flat colored blocks. And also I found that hitting it with a tool caused the game to crash. So I have had to momentarily go into creative mode to get rid of all this. And I'll go back into survival as soon as I get it gone. And then I can test to see whether they fix the fluid conduit connection issue. All right. You know, I think I'll just leave that there for now. I kind of sort of like it. All right, so I'm looking for one of these things. While I'm here, I may as well get one of these things and one of these things. Make one of these things. I'm glad that it didn't get rid of all of my chisel blocks. That would have been upsetting. Alright, so put that there. And the fluids are filling. And bam. Biogas engines have a delayed action bam. But we're getting 10 RF per tick out of it. Okay, so I've got the sag mill and smelter set up for processing. I have put in a couple of basic capacitor banks to soak up extra RF. But the main part that we're wondering about is this going to work? And so far it is. And that's working great so far. And about 2 stacks of various plant materials later, we have a little over 5 buckets of ethanol. And by various plant materials, I mean saplings, sugarcane, and wheat. And as soon as we get the rest of the milk run out of this biogas engine, we'll put this on there, and we'll see how much power that pumps out. Okay, so now we're going to see how much RF we can put out with the biogas engine using ethanol. As soon as we can get that to pump into the tank. This thing doesn't burn ethanol. Perhaps I should have stopped at biogas. Okay, so I threw in a stack of wheat and a stack of sugar, and I've got a little over half of a tank of biomass. And I had to use some more milk to get it all fermented. And there we are, 50 RF per tick on biofuel. Biomass. So, once we get proper farming set up, we can have biomass for RF and ethanol for EU. And now, all we need are some machines to power. Actually, what I really need most is stuff to put into this fermenter. And the answer to both those questions is farms. So, next episode, we'll be starting on some forestry farms, growing trees, wheat, whatever I can think of, as long as I can keep enough tin to build it. So come see how it's done. Till then, have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.